Assalamu alaikum, Ijaz.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tufail, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
All good. Today we decided we can talk about genes. No, not the unseen type.
I was when my mind went to family lineage, DNA, whatnot.
Oh, that genes.
Yeah,
We're going on the route of your Levi's, just so weird.
the denims, the good old denims.
Denims, right? Why does it change? I was thinking about it the other day. I had a whole host of those broad jeans back in the 90s. And I kept them. I don't know why I kept them. And then last year sometime I decided to give them away. And after I've already given them away, then the new trend started of baggy jeans back. And that seems to be the fashion right now. And are we like slaves to these type of changing trends, Phil?
I think we are. I think things change, and then one or two people start like a trend, like bell bottoms or baggies were out, then they came back for a while. Then they're gonna go out again. Then jeans were skinny was the thing. Now it's like no, the straight leg again. I don't know. It keeps evolving, but the fashion lines change so drastically that even if you're comfortable with like a particular fit or cut, it becomes difficult to find it afterwards.
Correct. For a while now, in the recent past, the what do you call those joggers and stuff were in.
Yeah.
With tight towards the
And
ankles.
the cuffed, yeah.
Cuffed ones, and I was most comfortable with those ones. And I see, like you said, you don't see them anymore.
Yeah, they become difficult to find. And I noticed on staying on the trends that keep changing, like certain chain stores. Like if you go there and you have a particular way of dressing, right? Say you like a golfer in a particular cut of pants, whether it's a chino or jeans or whatever. If the fashion season or the fashion trend at that point doesn't accommodate for what you're accustomed to wearing, you're going to struggle to find it because they don't stock like a wide array of things. A few chain stores actually do this, if many of you have noticed out there. They like only stock the stuff that's trending out there that they're making posts about and like very loud printed type of things. And it's hard to find like, the simple good stuff, your day-to-day things anymore. It's all a bit, I don't know, chaotic, man. Like some things don't even go with themselves.
I don't know about you, but I feel like maybe it's because we're not the youngest of men anymore. But I feel like I've jumped off the merry-go-round somewhat. Like I don't see myself wearing those baggy jeans again. I feel like we've worn them to death back in our days. And my son he sarcastically told me, Dad, I don't think you should get those jeans because it's for us, it's for the youngsters. I'm like, Marv. So, hint taken. And I think I'm not going to, I don't see myself. But then again, we've said that in the past. We said, no, I will never wear this.
Yeah.
And then it became a trend and then we were wearing it. So, but I just feel this time around, someone was saying recently, skinnies are out now, you got to get with the times. And I'm like, no.
I agree with that. Like, I mean, it's comfortable, it's tapered, it looks neat. Like, it goes well. Like, everything just blends the way it's supposed to. I don't know why, like, you want to wear pants that are drowning in themselves again.
And I don't know about you, but when there was a stage where bootleg was in.
Yeah.
And for me, that was very short-lived. I did wear those for a while, but then, I don't know why. It just didn't tickle my fancy.
Yeah, I was never really a bootleg fan. It's always been the tapered or the slim, skinny, so to speak, fits that I've always enjoyed. A straight leg, I think I have a few. They're not my favorites. I just feel like there's like a lot extra at the ends that like don't sit over the shoe neatly, or like, I don't know, what do you do with the extra little flappy bits that roam around?
And I don't know about you, but myself personally, I just feel like, I don't know how I feel actually.
About jeans.
Back to the jeans, yeah. My mind just drifted for a second there, but...
Button it up, bro. Button it up.
What's this?
Button it up.
Button it up. Yeah, you know what? I was just thinking about that. Wait, there's it. I found what I was thinking about. So,
Pleasure.
when we were in the 90s, one of my aunts went to London and she came back with, I think it was a Levi's 501 cut, which is the like kind of skinny and towards the bottom. Which one is? I can't recall.
Yeah.
But I just remember my cousin, he wasn't impressed. Like, he's like, Mom, I'm not going to wear this. And she said, but this is what's in. I've just come from London. Everyone's wearing this. And he's like, nope. And that was during the times when we were wearing our LA company and our Boys of London broad jeans. And he's like, no, Mom, I'm not going to wear it. And I remember he gave it to me. He gave me one pair, and I was like, I don't think I'll ever wear this. And then there came a time where that came in, and I was like, hey, lucky I didn't give it away. It was brand new. Pulled it out, and everyone was like, wow, where you got this from? I was from London. Yeah, you know? But yeah, it's just weird how, you know, sometimes you would say, I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to wear that. And because, I don't know if it's pressure of society and you see everyone wearing it, you just conform. And you're like, okay, let me just give it a go.
I think for a lot of people, that is what happens. And I also feel like on the flip side of the coin, it's also the options. So like I was saying earlier with like some of the stores, they just stop stocking stuff that you normally buy. I feel that all jeans matter. As long as you wear them, as long as you wear them, you know, where they're supposed to be worn. Your waistline is not halfway down your...
Yeah, I think we can stay away from the cheeky shorts trend. Well, we can leave that.
I think that's the one. So like the leg length, there should be a limit, especially for gents. I'm very sorry, but I mean, listen, guys, please don't. Just don't. And also where the top of it should be at your waist. It shouldn't drop. You shouldn't show anybody
Undies.
your undies. Yeah, sagging.
That's too much info.
As it's termed.
What, sagging, the jeans or?
Don't picture it.
Yeah.
I think that should be abolished entirely. I don't see a need for it. It's impractical. If you break out into a jog, if you need to run, I feel like your sense of movements, I think so too. But I see why they pair them generally with like hoodies or something you can pull over. So if it does drop, you just nobody knows who you are.
Is it intact? Yeah. And then, I don't know if you remember, was it before your time, but there was a time where stonewash jeans was a thing. Is that before you?
Possibly. Are we talking about faded like?
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah. Okay, no, that I do.
Yeah.
I do recall.
But I see it's made a comeback somewhat. That as well. But yeah, it's constantly changing, and I just want to know who's the person that decides. Okay, we've come to the deadline for cuff jeans. Now we're moving back to broad. Like, who makes that decision?
That's like it's a strange thing because like we know that trends sort of shift, but I've come to think of it, I've never found like the source of a trend. Like there's never been an announcement from like a clothing manufacturing company or like a designer somewhere and be like, I have reached the ends of the era. I don't know why it's German, but anyway, it's German. I mean, they're trying to change things regularly.
Yeah.
So they make the announcements that they have reached the end of the era of the cuffed, and now we will go into the wide leg, and that is where everybody should be wearing. Like, there hasn't been a moment. It's just all of a sudden for a couple of months, people are wearing one thing, and then a couple of months or a year or whatever later, it's gone, and people look at you weird, like, oh my God, why would you wear that? There is no real like decision. There's no root cause. It's not like the invention of jeans or denims, denim pants in general. I think was more like work related. Where it could withstand the elements, kind of thing. It was durable. It wasn't just going to rip at bowing down to do work or whatever it is. So it served a purpose. The style and trends changing have not really served much of a purpose other than maybe, I don't know, footwear exposure in certain regards, like the bootleg can accommodate a boot, as the name suggests. But I mean...
And your leg. Yeah.
and the leg, hopefully, the operative requirement for wearing pants. It's been... it's just changed for no reason. It's not like it became harsh winter, and they're like, okay, we've got to expand the jeans slightly so that you can wear thermals underneath, for example. Like that would make sense.
But the weird thing is, there's different hemispheres, and when it's winter in one, it's summer in the other.
Yeah.
So it's very weird that at the same time, universally, if they decide to go, like now currently the Broad is in, you see the football players, rocking up to training wearing the broadest of jeans, and they're on the other side of the world, and here that trend would also fit in. So it's kind of weird that some things are universal, with there being different weather patterns in those different areas.
Jeans are one thing, Ijaz, and we know that they've changed, and it's not linked to anything that we can really figure out. What I want to know is, why does every teenager look the same nowadays with their hairstyles?
The hair, I just, one of the days I went to the barber and I was like, I think I'm going to try this hairstyle of, that's in now. And then I was like, no.
Thank goodness.
I watched them sitting there, and it's such a long process. And when they get up from the chair, they look like nothing has changed, like in terms of cutting the actual hair. So I know one of my nephews, he was gone for like 2 hours, and he came back, and I was like, where you went? He's like, I went to the barber. I'm like, for what? Did you go visit him? So like, just went to go say hi, or did you have a meal, or because I don't see any difference with your hair. It's like, no, you have to sit and you have to taper and this and that and other.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't see a difference, honestly.
It's like we're sort of fading out of the fading era, and everybody's just looking like the mop that's been used for too long. And it's like identical for whatever reason. Like they all just look identical.
What is that animal from South America? A llama. Is it a llama?
Llama, yes, a llama, alpaca or a llama. They're fairly similar.
I know one guy took a video at a family meal, and his caption was, "Why do all the kids look like my grandma?" So he shows the kid, and then the camera pans to the side, and you see the grandmother, and it's like the same hairstyle.
Everybody's going for that like weird version of Moulin Rouge. Like, what's going on, guys? Why doing this?
The guys with straight hair, youngsters, teenagers that are getting their hair permed, getting it to to have that effect. And there's so much of Edmund. I watched another nephew of mine getting ready, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, no, you have to put this product in, and this one is to keep it, and this is to keep that wet look, and this is to keep the curly effect. And like a year ago, the guy had pin straight hair. I was like, how? Like,
for me personally, I think that like using the products and whatever are not out of the equation. I think it's more I've grown mine out because I feel like that's what I'm comfortable with. It sort of suits me in its own right, and whatever else. It's when everyone's the same and you're just trying to look like everybody else. It doesn't make sense to me, because I've always assumed, like, if you go to a salon or you go to your barber, like, they're supposed to like find something that, I don't know, suits your jawline, your forehead.
No, they don't care.
Or if it's,
whatever is in is in.
Yeah, like it's supposed to fit. Like that's generally how styles were created. Like whatever factors, how wide your cheeks are or your forehead, like that should be it's what your hair is dressing. It's not meant to look identical. Even style, come to think of it, like with the jeans and whatever else. And I mean, take this with a pinch of salt, but not all jeans are for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Not all clothes are for everyone.
I get you. And, I can still recall the first day walking into a barber after a while of cutting a certain way. And then he's like, Giro fade. And I was like, huh? What?
That sounds like a spice. Giro. No.
I was like, what are you talking about? And then I looked to the side of me and I see this youngster with the duff. I said, oh, finally. Because if you think about it, the whole, comb over has been around for quite some time. And I think it lasted the longest in terms of hairstyles. Because they usually, if you think about it, there were spikes, right?
Yeah.
We had spikes and everyone had spikes. Then it kind of morphed into a mohawk type, right?
Yeah.
And then the comb over came about, and it just stuck like for a decade, over maybe 15 years.
Yeah, I think the comb over was like late, like 2007, 2008 maybe, till like a few years ago, like 3 years or 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, but now the weird thing is if you ask a barber, what I used to do is, and I stopped after a while because it was to no avail. I was like, what? Like, what's the next trend? Like, we've been having this comb over 10 years, whatever. What's next? And they were like, I don't know. We just wait. We just wait. So
Yeah.
usually, well, back in the day, it was a person like David Beckham. He was like the guy who would, introduce a new hairstyle at the World Cup, and then all the kids would want it.
Yeah.
And okay, shame. The real Ronaldo, he had that one hairstyle.
Yeah.
But it didn't catch on.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Nobody wanted to lose that much.
And I seen on Reels recently, like, they have this plot twist videos where the youngster goes, he says, I want my hair like Ronaldo, talking about Cristiano Ronaldo and his hairstyle. And then the barber gives him the Ronaldo hairstyle, which is, and then the guy is just sitting there cross, But yeah, it's just weird how fashion works in a kind of circle. Like when we think of comb overs, before comb overs became a thing, what did you associate with comb overs? I pictured like black and white pictures, our grandparents in their family photos. They had that neat comb over style. Mandela even had a comb over, and he even had
the slick back.
He used to ask them to, make a style for him. And it was associated with like the Peaky Blinder era or whatever. And then he came back. So I wonder now what's next. Are we headed back towards spikes and mohawks? I don't think so.
I still feel like people should be themselves.
Yeah.
I know it's a tall ask, but I mean, like, find something that suits you. I think the world would be a different place. Like, there wouldn't be so much of pressure. I think you'll breathe a bit easier. Like, instead of trying to fit in, I think a lot of people look better as themselves. Because we just like currently have a lot of carbon copies of people roaming around. They just look identical. It's hard to tell them apart. So if you try this, like go to a mall and you're walking in the same line as everyone, so obviously their backs are facing towards you. It's hard to like, you won't spot someone even if you know them until you like face to face with them and you can really, but from a distance you're like, who the hell is that? And no, I don't think it should be that way. I feel like identity is important, man. Like, it's necessary.
But, pardon the pun, but I think like our hairstyles are in the hands of our barbers, Whatever is in for them, whatever they've just learned will be your hairstyle. Because the first time you walk in here, like what happened with me, it was the first time I was like, I didn't know what he was talking about. Meanwhile, he had just learned this new style that was in, whether from Europe or wherever it was, where it originated from. And now that's what he's going to be cutting, So
I don't know. I would change my barber if I had that experience. I don't cut my hair often enough, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, I feel like even they have sort of moved towards whatever everybody wants, we're just gonna do. At one stage, it was just like a number 2 or 3 on the sides and a bit of a scissor on the top, and that was it. That was all they were doing all day. Like, they wouldn't assess someone when they came in, and like certain salons and some craftsmen in the trades. Shout out to those who touch my hair. You heard about this earlier. We're not divulging too much, but I mean, they'd sort of like see, okay, what suits you, what would look good, what wouldn't look good. There's even the catalog, the menu. Is it a menu catalog? It's like a whole
portfolio,
portfolio, cat portfolio, to sort of see like, okay, this is my face shape, or this is the style that I'm going for. I need to be able to do this and that with it and whatever. And that's how they cut it. I do find like a lot of them have just simplified into the, okay, show me picture and carry on kind of thing.
I had such a cool thought now about barbers, and then it's just faded away into my mind, in the far recesses of my mind, and will make an appearance at some point, I'm sure, probably after we stop recording.
Sounds like we were shaved from that.
Yeah, we'll have to cut it out.
Thank you. We'll comb through what's going on in your mind and see if we can unearth it.
Yeah. It came and it went, so it was a close shave. So we've reached that point of the show where we decline to comment.
I think it's been a blast
Yeah.
and a good show. I mean, talking about trends and whatever. We should go shopping someday.
You should. And if any brands out there, want us to wear your clothes, don't be shy. Get hold of us. We will make our way to your stores and wear your clothes and make wonderful sales for you. So don't be shy. If you feel that your show or your product needs to be shown on the coolest show on earth, and you would want your brand or product to be on the coolest show on earth.
Yeah, it should be here. Barbers, however, I'm unavailable at this point. Ijaz, I think, would be. He'd be open to that. I'm assuming.
It would be weird though to have a show while a barber is cutting your hair. It would be different.
It would be. It would be dangerous. I feel like there's an element of danger in there.
Yeah.
Like one wrong move. Like you say something that resonates with him and he's on the bad side of that spectrum.
Yeah.
Well, that is how we draw to a close.
Yep, we close off on that note. Today, of course, we spoke about jeans, we spoke about fashion, we spoke about hair. So, lots that come up in the show. You know, it's like Bruce Lee would say, be like water. So this show, being the coolest show on earth, and the earth being, populated by water mostly.
Yeah.
So we will be like water. We will flow. Topics will flow. Discussion will flow. It's not going to be your everyday, generic, general type podcast. It will just be a lot happening all of the time.
Definitely. The end.
The end.
The end.
And that's where we close off today.